Hi, my name is Katrina Leonard and I am the Youth Advocate at the Rainbow House. Today I am going to go over our second grade elementary school programming called Tulip Doesn't Feel Safe. Tulip Doesn't Feel Safe, the purpose of the program is to teach kids about what domestic violence is, what personal safety is, and how we need to, if we're ever not feeling safe, the best idea is to talk to safe adults and to find a safe place to go. So there are 3 different sessions in the Tulip Doesn't Feel Safe program, and I will go over each of them individually. The first session, we're talking about domestic violence, and I will explain how I talk to children about domestic violence. How I do this is I use a black felt board with Velcro, and we use puzzle pieces to put together the puzzle of domestic violence. The first part of my puzzle of domestic violence is that domestic violence happens to adults. It does not happen to children. I tell kids that domestic violence doesn't happen to children because when we're kids and we get in trouble, usually it's going to be something pretty minor, like for example, they get grounded or they can't watch TV for a week, or if they get in trouble at school, they're going to go to the principal's office. However, let's say we're an adult and we get in trouble and perhaps we're speeding too fast in our car, what would happen is the police get involved, we'll end up paying a lot of money to the police department. So kids kind of understand that when we're children, we're allowed to make some of those mistakes, and that's how we learn and that's how we become a good adult. So that's why domestic violence doesn't happen to kids. The next part of the domestic violence puzzle is that domestic violence happens to adults that are either related to each other or living together. So I have the kids give me examples of people that they're related to, and they usually say things like aunts, uncles, parents, grandparents, etc. And then I have them give me examples of people that they live with. And this can include people like our family, so parents and siblings, people that are married to each other, or people that perhaps that have been dating for a long time, and roommates when they go off to college would all be living together. And then I explain to them that domestic violence does not happen to every adult that is either related to each other or living together. Just one thing has to happen to make it domestic violence, and then it's that one of these adults gets hurt. And I explain to them that there are 3 different ways one of these adults can get hurt. Our first example is physical abuse. So I have them give me examples, and usually they say things like hitting, kicking, punching, and I say basically that it's using any part or any object to hurt somebody else's body on purpose. And then there's emotional abuse, which is ignoring somebody's feelings or making them feel bad about themselves. And then there's verbal abuse, which is calling somebody names, using put down, using hurtful words to hurt somebody. Next, I tell the children about Rainbow House. I explain that Rainbow House is a safe place to go if an adult is experiencing domestic violence and they don't want to be getting hurt anymore. So I show them different pictures of Rainbow House. For example, the outside of Rainbow House, I show them that there's security cameras and that we can watch them even at night. I show them the kitchen, the laundry room, all these different things. But I also show them that it's not just a house where people live, it's a place where people work too. So I show them the things like where our main office is and all of that. And I show them the playground, the kids' playroom, that we do try and make it a kid-friendly place for them, for those that stay here that have children. And then the last part of our 3rd session is I show them a quick video about a little girl named Tulip. It is a cartoon. She is experiencing domestic violence at home. And in the video, it's pretty much verbal and emotional abuse that she's hearing. You hear dad yelling and saying some not so nice things to mom in the video. And at school before this, she learned that she needs to find a safe place to go and safe adults to talk to if she's not feeling safe at home. So it gives kids that opportunity to look at what domestic violence might be, and then they see this girl working through the problem and solving an appropriate way to solve this problem. And that wraps up the first session. Our second session, I review what domestic violence is, so that way the kids remember. And then we go over discussion of the video that we watched and some questions. And the most important questions that I ask them is, who did she talk to when she wasn't feeling safe? And asking whose fault it was that mom was getting hurt. And I make sure that I point out that it is not mom's fault, it is not Tulip's fault, it is dad's fault that all these things were going on. And then to help bring us the point of safety, we do a safety plan together. And what it is my safe people and places. And I have the children draw an outline of their hand, kind of like if they were drawing one of those Thanksgiving turkeys. And on each of the fingers, I have them write the name of a safe adult. And this can be somebody that's in their family, somebody at school, perhaps a sports coach, something like that, that they would feel safe talking to if they were not feeling so safe. And then in the palm of the hand, I have them write down 2 or 3 places that they can go if they're ever not feeling safe. So this could be perhaps a guidance counselor's office, or maybe under their bed or something like that. If they're not feeling safe, this is the place where they can go where they can feel better. The third session of Tulip Doesn't Feel Safe once again has us reviewing what domestic violence is. And for my third session, I bring in a local law enforcement officer. This is so that way the kids can first of all kind of learn the job and the role of a police officer, and next of all to have us understand that sometimes when domestic violence happens, we have the law getting involved. So the kids learn all about making a 911 phone call, and then I have them learn about things like the badges on the police officer's uniform, their duty belt. And then we talk about if they were to respond to a domestic violence call, what's happening? Are they going to talk to the kids? Absolutely. And then we have them, if we have time, we go out and look out at the squad car, and the kids like that because they can see the sirens and the lights. And that wraps up Tulip Doesn't Feel Safe. If you have any questions about any programming, please feel free to call the Rainbow House. Once again, my name is Katrina, and I'd be happy to answer any questions or to preview this more in detail.